So I think not being scared of telling the truth. Tell your truth. If you don't have haters, man, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You can't be a coach and be loved by everyone unless you're Tony Robbins. But he wasn't loved by everyone in the very beginning. He got loved by everyone when he became undeniable. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, everyone was like, NLP is a scam. You need to go to a therapist. You know, that they literally tried to sue the entire NLP movement. But Tony, he didn't give a shit, and he had a lot of hate. So you not that you're gonna look for haters, but do your way and what worked for you.
Why do you think some people can't handle that hate? Because I see a lot of people who's also like, say they want to grow their business, but then they're afraid of being ridiculed or judged.
Yeah. So I was there myself, and it has a lot to do with your confidence in knowing who you are. And actually, a lot of my clients, they don't like hate, and that's because you doubt yourself. And I did that myself. So I figured that. I think we spoke about this before, but I can mention that the law of exposure, right? You remember we talked about that? Right. So when you have been exposed for an idea, you cannot be unexposed. And every time you get a thought of something that you know you should be doing and you don't do it, you're breaking a promise with yourself. Like it's like your subconscious brain just keeping a score. And when you keep breaking promises to yourself, your trust goes down. You can't no longer trust you. And then you don't really know who you are. So you probably have been sitting, not you, but many people have been sitting in Instagram. They've been inspired, and then now the dopamine receptors goes crazy, and they think they just did what that inspiration said. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna lock in for 160 days, and it sounds so good, this message, but they don't do shit. And when you don't know who you are, because if you are not your word, who are you then? Then you don't know who you are. Then the criticisms from other people will come very close to you. I'll give an example. You'll be attached to it. If I came into a room and I would say, hey, Charlie, man, you look like a blue car. Well, you wouldn't give a damn fuck about that because you know what? You're not blue, you're not a car. But if I knew something from your childhood, I knew you've been talking on your social media that you used to be overweight.
Yeah.
Right? So that there you might have an attachment to it if you haven't worked deeply on it. So if I went deep on that will hurt you because you have a little belief that you are it. And that's what I figured. So I worked so hard on myself. So whatever people have an opinion about me now, I don't care if they call me a, scammer, or if they call me a liar, or if they call me a blah, blah, blah. I don't care because I know who I am. I have a 95% hit rate of what I say I do.
Why do you think people call people scammers on the internet? And often the most successful people. Like people call Grant Cardone, I put a post today, and those people go and calling Grant Cardone a scammer, like, dude's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I think, so it's weak men, right? It's weak people calling other people scammers. I've never done that. I've never called anyone a scammer. So actually, I've been surprised when people came out as scammers. Bernie Madoff, the Netflix documentary, the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. I was kind of fascinated about.
Well, I was impressed. It was like, how did you do it? Like, it's impressive.
You
didn't get away with it.
I'm not going to be like, you scammer. I'll be like, damn, man, if you have used that right, you're smart. So it's because people are jealous, right? They want to have a reason for why they are not successful.
And why do you think people, you mentioned they're like, aren't successful, that they can't get themselves to do what they know they need to do, and that's why their confidence is kind of warped? Because I see it all the times, like, I get people come to us and like, oh yeah, my business isn't generating leads, not booking calls, and like, dude, you've not posted any fucking content for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but Charlie, come on, man. Success is not supposed to be a comfortable procedure, and it takes time, right? And people are not successful. It's several reasons, but one of the main reasons is they don't go long enough, intense enough. The more intense you go, I don't believe that the more intense you go for a longer period, the more success you're gonna get. So you need to just make peace with the path you're taking, and then just tell yourself, I'm never gonna stop until I make it. So people stop too early, and there's a lot of people who never start, right? But those who start, they don't see any results the first year. That's a tough one. You don't see any results for a year. And I've tried it so many times. I remember when I started yelling on my social media, and after 3 weeks, I lost 5,000 followers. I was like, ugh. And of course, self-doubt comes in.
Yeah.
Am I doing the right thing? Man, I was yelling a little bit too loud. I was really calling men out. Like, if you're fat, you're a loser. You can't be a CEO. You can't do. And I just lost followers. And after 3 weeks, I remember, ooh, here it came. But then my experience kicked in. Motherfucker, you just keep going. And I did that. And it went up. So people, they give up because they get self-doubt. And then they stop too early and they seek towards comfort, right?
Now, I'm not going to sound like Stephen Bartlett, but I know a lot of people coming onto our podcast and who are not subscribing but still enjoying the content. If I have one small ask from you, it's please hit the subscribe button. It'll help us a lot. So like, you have a very high level of intensity. And I can't remember who I was talking to you about the other day, but I was like, it's really stuck with me when even like last week, you said something to me about like, I'm going to be number one in my industry, like no matter what it fucking takes. And then like we go for dinner on Saturday night and like, oh yeah, I need to take a sales call. It's like Saturday night at 9 PM. I'm like, fucking hell. I was like, okay, bro. And then like, I'm like,
did you get disappointed?
No. I was like, well, I just want to spend more time with you. But I was like, but I have more respect because I'm like, all these people I speak to are fucking lazy. And like, oh, I don't want to work the weekend. And like, that's why you will beat them, because you will do more than them. And ultimately it is really, really simple that a lot of people just aren't willing to like take their tampon out and do the work and do the thing they need to do, if that makes sense.
They're just 100% like, Charlie.
They're justifying themselves of why they don't need to do it.
Yeah, so that's such a good point. See, I don't love sales calls, but I love sales calls. I don't love producing content, but I love producing content. I'm in love with what I do. I'm in love with the process of building. And if you don't love what you do, you are probably going to play for the result instead of the process.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you play for the process, and it's like an art, I just want to improve my art. I just want to be better. I don't actually care if I become a multi-millionaire or not. I just want to be the best at what I do. And that's a different mindset. While people who has never had money, they just want the money. But then you're going to have a very, very flat fundament of discipline, because if the money don't come and you don't like the process, then you're going to give up. So I just know the price that I have to pay. And I think there's so many people who wants to live the life of a world class, but they don't want to pay the price of becoming it. And that's so important, man. Like, come on, let's be honest. When you go on a diet and you want to be jacked, the older you get, the harder it gets. So I'm 40 next month. Fuck, man. I have to really do stuff now. I have to really, think about my carbs. I have to think about when I eat them. I have to think about I'm flying around in the world. I get water retention everywhere. But then I just tune it up because I know that's the price. And it's not nice. And if you can't figure that out in your business, in your relationship, and everywhere, you're never going to make it.
Well, that's what I think what price you're willing to pay, and the bigger the thing you want, the higher the price is going to be. So that's what I kind of justify to myself. If I'm finding something hard, I'm like, it's hard for a reason, because it's difficult to do, which means if I can do it, then it's put me on another level of things that no one else can do, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. But you have also, you have this psychopath mindset, which you have understood the price of who needs to be paid. And you have also seen the yield of it, right? You've seen results from it. So you are now in an experienced, wise position, knowing that it will pay off eventually.
Yeah.
But before you had that, you probably had this fear of failing together with the excitement of winning. So that's like a push-pull. And then the further you get in, you have the pride. No, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. And that pushes you. So that's also an identity, right? But then you have people who has more, they don't have this winner psychopath instinct, and they probably don't have it because they haven't gone through adversity and challenges in their life. Like a good example, I see a lot of the clients that I have, if they come from rich families, they are so fucked. Versus if I work with self-made entrepreneurs. And I see the same in welfare states. I can compare those two.
What's the difference? What happens with the rich kids?
They feel more lost in their life in their 40s, and they don't know what space to take in the world. And that's because, think about this, they have been growing up so entitled, so safe. Their parents have been paying their problems away. So they've been growing up they've been growing up in understanding that life is about to be comfortable. My life is comfortable. You get entitled. No. I'm not going to live in a 4-star hotel. I only live on 5 stars. Yeah, but bro, you don't have money. No. We don't live on 5. So they've been growing up in that attitude while they wake up in the morning to feel good. Right? Now, so then you have all the self-made. They don't fucking wake up to feel good. They wake up to become good so they can feel good. All right. So they kind of understand that the purpose of life is to grow, to become and be challenged, and ultimately just overcome your own challenges. They just get turned on by that. While the rich guys, they wake up in the morning to get more comfortable. And when they're 40, when daddy don't want to pay them anymore or whatever happens, they kind of, I don't know what to do, man. I don't, what is personal growth? What is that? So you can compare that with entrepreneurs from welfare states. Fuck, man, they are so screwed. A welfare state, let's take Denmark, for example, Norway or Sweden. I even think UK is on that list.
UK is a welfare country now.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So if you grow up and you start a business in UK, and if you get screwed or go bankrupt or whatever, you're not screwed in Denmark, for example. You kind of, okay, well, if you have an insurance, you can literally, because if you pay into an insurance, you can just get paid by the government while you don't have a job. So you have now been paying the insurance, and if you're out of job, and if you just go apply for jobs, the government will pay you to survive. Bro, that means you always have this comfort to fall back on. You never really have your back against the wall. Now, when I was sitting in Spain and I had $1,000 to my name and I had child support and rent, and the first time in my life for 2 decades, I had to look at the prices on the groceries. Look, a tuna and oil or water is €1 cheap, like literally like that. And I don't have a security net. That's when you're the best. You go into this survival psycho mode. And these guys in those welfare states, they don't have that. They're like, if this shit doesn't work, I always have this insurance. If this shit doesn't work, I can always get a job. And that's what keeps them trapped. It's do or die.
Do you think the US has more of that do or die kind of culture?
Absolutely. You don't have the same, like health insurance over there is super expensive. The lifestyle over there, most in states are super expensive. LA, I was just in LA, it's terrible. Like, renting a small 2-bed back house, apartment or a house is like 5,000-6,000 grand a month. The taxes are ridiculous. You have healthcare. Everything is just so expensive. You got to be on your toes over there. And that's what they grew up in. So they grew up in a more hostile environment. What happens there? Well, you learn how to be more hostile.
So this is something that's funny that you might not know about me, and something others might know. So I went to private school. You
went to private school?
Yeah, bro. I'm well brought up. My family did reasonably well. But like, I look at everyone I went to school with, and none of them have really fucking done anything. And I can think of the exact type of people you're talking about who just like kind of live off mum and dad's money.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I kind of had the opposite of from 17, 18, I lived on my own, and I was like, I want to do my own thing and just like kind of.
What made you take that decision? Did mom and dad say you got to work for it?
No. So like for me, it was, they were like, you can do whatever you want, which for me was like, this is the fucking worst thing in the world. It's just like, give me some fucking direction. And then do you know what really it came down to? I didn't like being told no, and I didn't like being controlled. So I wanted like freedom. So I wanted to make my own money so I could do whatever the fuck I want.
But okay, question. So because I don't know this, Charlie. So when you grew up, you were a chubby guy.
Yeah.
And when you were 17, 18, were you still chubby there?
A little bit.
Did you feel bullied when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That was the power.
I was bullied as a kid I remember being called fat as a kid.
And you didn't like that, of course.
No.
Who the fuck likes that?
Yeah.
And you had this, fuck you, I'm going to fucking show you.
Yeah. That's literally my brain every day. It's like,
I'm going to fucking win.
Yeah.
And that's a power. It's powerful. It's powerful if it doesn't take over. I got bullied as fuck as well. Super bullied. And everything in me when I wake up in the morning is like, I'm going to fucking show you, And then you have these kids who grow up and they don't get bullied. They grow up in a very, very nice environment. There's nothing wrong with that. You just get weak. You grow up in something that hurt your feelings, it hurt your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And now it's payback time, baby.
Well, that for me is, I think it's really installed in something to me. Is like, you said the word, I think earlier, like undeniable. I want to be so fucking good at the point it's like, yeah, he's made something of himself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's in fucking great shape. He's
And it
made
sits in
money.
you still.
Yeah,
It's-
100%.
and that's good.
It's a burning desire to be like, fuck everyone. I
Yeah.
want to put points on the board and keep putting points on the board.
Yeah, and if
Like, for no
someone-
real reason other than I just want to do it.
because
Do you know
it's
what I mean?
just a trauma from when you were a kid.
Yeah.
It's the same with me. If I wake up and I hear a guy say something about me, if I told you I don't give a shit, I'm lying. I secretly, I want to murder him, but I murder him by becoming even more successful.
What's your opinion on competition?
Well, I think it's good.
Because I remember like a therapist said to me once, it's like, you can have $1 billion but you're never allowed to compete with anyone ever again in anything. And I was like, oh, fucking I was like, okay, so I can't play sports. So I can't.
That's a good
So
question.
I'm like, this would be fucking shit. Like, what can I actually do? So I was like, I can't have the $1 billion because I can't do anything. Because like, if you think about everything in life, particularly as a man, is like, it's a competition for status, money, resources, fitter, faster, stronger. I'm like, it would literally be the most dull, boring thing. I'd want to jump off the fucking balcony at that point. It's like pointless. Do you know?
Yeah.
Not pointless, but like,
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, for me, I like competition, and I like it in every aspect.
Competition, I think competition is, for men especially, it's healthy. Competition is masculine. Like, we need that. We need to compete. If you look at the way societies have been structured today and since, hundreds and even thousands of years back, there was a point where we created societies where we wanted to tame the men.
Now, if you enjoyed this clip and you're a coach, creator, or a business owner and you want help in terms of how to scale your business using ads, AI, content, marketing, a lot of things we talk about on the show, then hit the link at the top line of our description in the YouTube video. You can book on a call with us and we'll walk through the whole process, audit your business, and show you where there's huge opportunities for you to scale.